Welcome to the Dewey Show, where Dewey talks politics, current events, true crime, and everything else he finds interesting. The Dewey Show is sponsored by AdamandEve.com.
Are you looking to spice things up in your bedroom? AdamandEve.com is the place to go. Take it over, voiceover guy.
Use the offer code DEWEY at checkout for 50% off. Exclusions apply. And free/always discreet shipping. That's ADAMANDEVE.com. Use offer code DEWEY.
Use offer code DEWEY at checkout. That's AdamandEve.com. Offer code Dewey. Spice things up in your bedroom. Everything I've mentioned today is in the description of today's episode. Alright folks, I hope that you're having a great day, because you deserve absolutely nothing less than that. If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe, follow, like, and all of that good stuff. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you folks. In fact, I appreciate you so much that I wrote a poem for you. And I'll tell you why I do poetry. And the reason for it is, when I was a little boy, I wrote a poem in first grade. And I gave that poem to my grandma, who was my best pal. She is now gone. Pancreatic cancer took her from us. And I'll tell you a fun story that was told to me by her sister a little bit later on. And I'm actually writing a book about what lessons she has taught me before she passed away. And it's called Lessons from My Lunch Lady. Now, the reason that it's called that is because at the elementary school that I went to, my grandma was the head lunch lady. And every time that I would ask her one of those questions that really nobody can answer, she would say, "How am I supposed to know? I'm just a lunch lady." And she was always very humble that way. But anyway, I gave her this, and she said, "Well, can you write me another poem about, I don't know, flowers?" And I said, "Sure." And so I did, and she said, "Okay, cool. Here's 50 cents. Every poem that you write for me, I'll give you 50 cents. And so every weekend that I would go over there, I would write poems. And she asked me to never stop writing poems. Now, when I turned about 12, and from age 12 to about 19, I didn't write any poems at all. I was focused on a lot of other crap, like all teenagers are. And, recently, after she passed away, I started writing poems again. And I promised that I would do once a month poetry. So here goes. Dewey, the podcast host, so true. In his gratitude, his heart imbues. His listeners, an ever-growing crowd, to them he humbly bows. For it's their encouragement and cheer that keeps his passion alive and clear. Through trials and triumphs, highs and lows, their support, a beacon that glows. So, to Dewey's listeners, far and wide, he thanks you all from deep inside. For it's your love and loyalty that makes this podcast a true joy to see. Alright, so, let's move on to the story that I was going to tell you about. My great aunt, my grandma's sister, told me a story, and it goes like this. So my grandma's about 5 years old, and she's in the garden with her dad, and they're harvesting the vegetables. And my grandma loved onions. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying like she would have them cut up in her food occasionally. No, when she was little, she loved them so much that she would eat them like apples. She loved onions so much. Anyway, her and my great grandpa, her father, were in the garden. She was about 5, and she had a she was picking the onions and well, pulling the onions rather, and my great grandpa, looked away, turned his head for a second, looked back, and her and the bucket of onions was gone. So he started, hollering for her name and everything, and hours go by, literally hours go by, and neighbors are helping to look for her, and uh, eventually my grandpa has to go to the bathroom, so he goes to the outhouse and opens the door, and in the outhouse sat my grandma with the bucket of onions, and she was eating them, and she uh, looked at my grandpa, great grandpa, and said, "You want one?" That story has always made me think about appreciating the little things in life that we don't take the time to do. We just don't. And we definitely should do more things like that. I mean, I certainly try my very best, and it's hard. It's really hard with everything going on in the news and all of that. Um, it's super hard. It's hard, and it's scary, and yeah. Uh, all right, folks. Let's take a quick break here.
The Dewey Show is sponsored by AdamandEve.com.
Are you looking to spice up your sex life? AdamandEve.com is the place to go.
Use the offer code DEWEY at checkout for 50% off. Exclusions apply. And free/always discreet shipping. That's ADAMANDEVE.com. Use offer code DEWEY.
Alright, now let's get into some news. So, The Hill is reporting that attorney says Trump assumed he would be arrested. He was reacting toward a lot of leaks. Attorney Joe how the hell do you say that? Topakina? Let's see. Speak. Joe Tacopina, who represents Donald Trump, said on Sunday that Trump's claim earlier this month that he expected to be arrested last Tuesday was based on, quote, a lot of leaks, end quote, from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. Trump called his supporters to protest while predicting his arrest last week, which did not materialize. The grand jury is scheduled to meet again early this week in this case, which centers on an alleged hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Quote, why did your client, Mr. Trump, make the claim that turned out to be not true? Did he make it up? End quote. NBC's Chuck Todd. By the way, I can't stand fucking Chuck Todd. I just can't. He asked Tacopini, whatever the fuck his name is, Trump's lawyer, on Meet the Press. Quote, no, he didn't make it up. He was reacting toward a lot of leaks coming out of the district attorney's office. There had been a leak, Chuck, that Monday. The day before that Tuesday, there was a law enforcement meeting, including Secret Service and NYPD, that was going to go through the logistics of the arraignment, Trump's lawyer said. Continuing, he said, and then there was, of course, a lot of rumors regarding the arraignment being the next day, so I think he just assumed, based on those leaks, that that's what was going to happen. So it wasn't making it up, and certainly doesn't want to be arrested, end quote. Trump's lawyer said of Trump. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg said his office will not be intimidated. However, the office has repeatedly declined to comment on reports and rumors of Trump's possible arrest. Which, by the way, everybody's making a big deal about this, but that's very standard, especially in a high-profile case. Trump warned of death and destruction if he is charged, while his allies argue the case is politically motivated. That's just bullshit. That's just fucking bullshit. Them saying that Donald Trump is being persecuted. Someone said this. He's not being persecuted. He's being prosecuted. And that's the truth. Look, if 12 of Donald Trump's peers come together and they say, look, he's not guilty, then in the eyes of the law, he is not guilty. But we absolutely have to get him in court. And regardless of what the jury decides, Donald Trump has to face that consequence, or lack thereof. If they don't find him guilty, that's the way that it works. But if they find him guilty, his ass needs to be in jail. And it goes. It's as simple as this: if you or I did it, plain folks, if we did it, do you think that we would have the opportunity to assert all types of privileges that we don't have? Wait for courts to decide on whether we're actually able to use it? Fuck no, we'd be locked up. We'd be locked up and waiting arraignment. The fact that he's the former president should not fucking mean anything. This is to Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, and Merrick Garland, all of whom are investigating Donald Trump. You can't look at this case and just say, well, he's a former president. It's unprecedented. Well, so were the fucking crimes that he committed. At least his predecessors, the ones that did commit crimes, at least they were smart enough to cover their fucking tracks. And of course, I'm not advocating for any politician to get away with anything. If they fucking break the law, put their ass in jail. I don't care. And a lot of people, too, on TikTok, I'll be talking about this Trump thing, and then the gotcha moment that they feel that they have is they'll say, well, what about Bill Clinton? What about Hillary Clinton? What about Hunter Biden's laptop? And this is my answer to all of those, okay? So if you're from a TikTok video and I redirect you to this episode, this is my answer to you, because I don't want my account getting taken down because of you fucking snowflakes. So, if Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, any fucking person in the Democratic Party, if they break the law, put them in fucking jail. Because we hold ours accountable. That is what is different from us and you. I am sincere in saying this, okay? You have the opportunity right now to just dump Trump. Dump Trump. If you have flags, take them down. Hoist up an American one, or one of your favorite football teams. You have a chance here to get out. And you can, your excuse to your other friends who also support Trump, you could just say, look, several people saying that he's committed crimes, and I can't support a criminal running for office. There you go. That's all you have to say. Because I know that there are people out there who are faking support for Donald Trump just because. But guess what? You don't fucking have to, because you live in the United States of America.
For everything Dewey Show related, including sponsor links and information, head over to deweyshow.com.
Folks, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Please consider sharing, following, and all of that good stuff. I would really appreciate that. Please support the sponsor of today's show, adamandeve.com. If you want to spice things up in the bedroom, adamandeve.com is giving you 50% off of almost any one item. Exclusions apply, and free and always discreet shipping. So head on over to adamandeve.com and use the offer code DEWEY at checkout, ADAMANDEVE.com, offer code DEWEY at checkout. And remember, folks, love is everything.